Yeah. All right, now we're recorded.
Now we're recording, so let's see, do I call the meeting to order? First order of business is the minutes from last time. Does anyone wish to move that we accept the minutes?
I move that we accept the minutes.
And second? Second. Okay, so all in favor?
I have
Leo,
my eyes
aye.
dilated today, so I'm-
So aye, okay, so that's unanimous.
can't see my phone.
All right, so I'll get those sent over. So today, I thought that we could start on, we have our list of things that need to get done, but now we need to start figuring out how exactly we're going to implement each one of these. So I was hoping we could, I'm going to start trying to put together like a PERT chart or something like that. That'll basically just say, here's what's getting done, here's when we hope to have it done. And some things cannot get started until we finish other ones. So the biggie to start is dethatching the space. And we had originally talked about having people from asking whether or not people from the highway department could come and dethatch the space. So question, what is going to be the best way to get that space dethatched?
Well, I could tell you what I would do,
Okay, I'd love to know.
but it might not be the right thing. Is that I would take a bucket loader from a tractor, like a tractor, and just put it in, 6 or 8 inches and just skim the top of it off. And that would be easy for them to do. It wouldn't be a lot of muscle, because I think just sort of removing that top 6 or 8 inches of,
And that's the beginning of our compost pile.
exactly, and then designated where we're going to put that, and that'll be a good, then you'll see what the rocks are. I mean,
Mhm.
but
Yeah,
just to start with that, and he can do that with a bucket loader on the tractor, and I mean that's what my
Okay.
husband did.
Yeah.
okay.
It-
I
I'll-
think, I
yeah,
think
go ahead.
one of the first things we have to do though is before this is we have to meet with the CPA, the Community Preservation CPC, the committee, and put together a contract.
Okay,
Oh, good idea.
Yeah,
So
they're
a
gonna.
contract for everybody that works on it?
No, it's a contract for the money that we're gonna get.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, because they want,
Thank God Elaine's here with us.
the Community Preservation Committee wants to know what our timeline exactly is, when we're gonna use the money, and what kind of ramifications we have against us if we don't do it in a timely fashion. 'Cause
Okay,
otherwise that money sits out there and can't get pulled back.
okay. Yeah, I'm gonna make a wild guess. I mean, one of the things we're really gonna want to do is be able to spread that money out across time, because we're not gonna be able to use it immediately. And we also don't know how much in-kind support we're gonna get. We might end up having a bunch of people who want to come and help put in a fence.
Sure.
And then there's a huge thing right there that we aren't gonna have to do.
Right.
We'll meet.
I'm sorry, who is this contract between? Who and who?
Between the Community Preservation Committee and the Rec Committee.
Okay,
So,
And I will be happy to be the one that contacts them and sets up a meeting.
thank you. So Elaine will set up the meeting. Great. Okay, so that's numeral 1. So once we have that, now with the dethatching, if we're asking people from the highway department, would that be part of our in-kind? Presumably they would come and just, okay,
So we should find out from them what's a good, time to do this, because this is sort of a good time. They're not
Okay.
plowing the roads.
They're not repairing
They're
the
not
roads.
repairing the roads.
They're doing some
They do on the
cutting.
side, cutting, lawn mowing on the side of the roads, but I don't think it's a hugely, I mean, I think
I
they
don't think
take
it's
their
a busy-
vacations now. and-
Actually, and what they're doing is they're only working 4 days a week during the
Okay.
summer. They only work 4 days a week because it's so slow.
Mhm.
So I'm happy to do whatever is needed. Would that be calling Steve?
Yeah, so I would call Steve and just say, is there any time in the next month you could do that for us?
Okay. All righty, I will do that.
I would call Tim,
Okay,
because Tim is the head of the department.
Okay.
and Yeah, definitely. I mean, Steve will do it and he'll do it on, he'll just do it, and then
Mhm.
you don't want to ruffle Tim's feathers.
Okay, great. All righty, so I will give him a call and find out when they would be able to do that. Before we do that, we would need to go, and once again, I took everything down. I figured we didn't want to start off with, because some of the pom-poms were blowing off, so I collected all the pom-poms, I collected all the sticks. So we're gonna need to go back and figure out exactly where the area is, and and that will just require some of us to go there and figure it out. Do we want it to abut the part they typically mow? Do we want a little path going down? How long is the path? All of that kind of stuff.
so you know what I could bring is I have some of that tape. I have like tape that we could
Oh,
it's, I don't know why we have it, but it's like what you don't cross the line police tape kind of thing.
Oh,
Ooh,
perfect.
And I don't know why we have it, but we have it. And we could sort of, mark off, and if we want to have a path, we could mark off exactly where we want them to do that.
Sounds great. Okay. So one of the things that we should do today.
So let me know and I'll meet you there. I can.
Oh, okay, that sounds great. Maybe next week.
Sure.
I'll get back to you on that, and then
Okay.
probably the easiest thing to do is we figure out what time works best, and anybody else who can come comes. But we can't talk about anything, as I understand it, except measuring things out.
sure.
Okay, yeah.
I'm sorry. I just have to say, I can barely hear anyone. I
Oh.
think it's but it's all of you. So
Oh.
it must be some, and I wasn't having this problem when I was on through my iPad. So I think I'm just gonna have to exit. I'm not hearing well enough to take minutes.
Oh,
So I'm gonna
okay.
exit from the phone and get back in on the iPad and I think I'll be able to hear then at least. I don't know what's going wrong because this has never happened before.
Okay, all righty. I'll look for you to come back in.
Yeah, Barbara, you were fading in and out too.
You know, I'm just gonna put this on.
Yeah. It looks so nice.
I know.
You look so
like an airline
professional.
pilot.
Actually, I look dated because everybody.
Now has these little things that just slip in their ears so this makes me look old and dated, but that's
No,
okay.
Retro.
Retro, oh, thank you. I knew there was going to be a nicer way to put it.
Retro. Syrian.
Yeah,
People call my sneakers retro.
I'm going to keep checking my email in case. Oh, I got here. Let me let Christine back in again. And
Here's your farmer.
there. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, this is great. Okay, I'm gonna be typing now.
Okay. All right. So just,
Sorry, go ahead.
I was
No,
just going to refresh.
Sorry.
Okay, so here's what we just talked about. So the first thing
Yeah, please.
we need to do is Elaine is going to meet with the CPC committee,
Right.
put together the contract for the money, and the contract will be between the two committees. The second
Okay.
thing that's going to happen is I'm going to call Tim to arrange a time for them to come dethatch. And what we're going to recommend is that they just come in with a bucket loader on front of a tractor and skim off 6 to 8 inches.
Mhm.
The next thing, and then sometime next week, BZ and I will meet at the site and mark off where the bed is going to go, where it needs to be dethatched, and then specifically where the garden will be and where the path will be going in.
You should check with, might be Walter, but it could be Becky, that there's lines that come from town hall out there and where the well is and the septic. And I think Walter was saying that there's something buried from town hall out to there. So you want to check with either Walter or Becky to make sure that we know where that is, so we don't, just throw a path in somewhere that they
Okay,
don't like.
all right, great. So it sounds like that's going to be the first call. That will
Mhm.
be the first thing that will have to happen because we don't want to go measuring things out until we're certain that it's in a safe place. Okay,
Right.
so I can do that tomorrow.
Okay.
All righty. So that kind of takes care of the dethatching of the space, the measuring of the space, getting that all set. The second thing that we had, and when we put this together for the proposal, I don't know that we were thinking sequentially, so I just don't know, but I would guess we'd want to get the soil and the compost delivered before the fence goes up. And we had talked about having that delivered in the center of the area.
Mhm.
Well, can we go back a step?
Sure.
I think we need to take rocks out.
Mm.
That's a
Oh,
big,
yeah.
big friggin' job.
Yep.
So once we get that topsoil, we'll have a sense of how rocky it is.
Mhm.
But you want to do that before we dump any topsoil on there.
I had an interesting conversation today with Sharon, I can't remember her last name, who owns Ancient Pony Farm. And her daughter, who studied sustainable agriculture at UMass, has taken over the running of the farm completely. So it's basically hers. And her mother was describing to me what she does for the garden part, and I walked down and looked at the garden part.
We can't hear you all of a sudden.
Oh, I muted myself. Okay, that does not need to go in the minutes. Anyway, so I was talking with Sharon down the road, who is the owner of Ancient Pony Farms. And she was telling me about what her daughter does with the gardens. And what she does is she comes in and she puts down a layer of cardboard with compost on top. She's done nothing else. And the soil has built up it fairly quickly. They're absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to give her a call and see whether or not she would be willing to do two things. One would be to meet with us to talk about what she did, because I'm guessing she did not remove the rocks. And then the second thing, because she's got this degree in sustainable agriculture, would she be interested in running some workshops for people? So before we talk about removing the rocks, if there's a way to have rich garden soil without removing the rocks, then that would be great. I'll talk to her and find out exactly what she did, and then if I may, invite her to our next meeting.
I think any way we can get young people involved, maybe she could be a way in for that,
Yeah,
Because she's in Shutesbury.
Yeah.
yeah, she's just up the road. Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
That'd be great.
So yeah. So anyway, like I said, I don't know exactly what she started with, but all I know is she's
I-
been,
Some rocks out though.
yeah,
I would, if I had to put money down,
we'll
I
find
would.
out. Yeah,
because you can get some really big rocks and nothing's gonna grow wherever you.
I
go.
know.
The
Yes.
Little ones, not such a big deal, but unless you're trying to grow root crops, which, aren't
Yeah.
so good.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So maybe
Well,
we could
maybe
have,
someone wants to grow rocks. What? Sorry, BZ?
maybe we could have a rock treasure hunt through the library. The kids like give them,
We could build a rock wall.
we could.
Yeah.
Maybe we could give them prizes for who gets the biggest rock, who gets the
Yeah.
most unusual shaped rock, and then we could paint the rocks. We could have a rock day.
Oh, we could paint the rocks along the edge of the
Yeah.
Yeah.
path.
Yeah.
It might be kind of cool to get a mason to come in who does work with free boulders to learn how do you do that? How were these made?
Yeah.
And I'm sure there would be people around who do that and would be willing to come and help with that.
Helen Ann's son, Patrick, is an
Oh.
expert in that, as he actually just completed a course and passed in Vermont. It was a very strenuous thing of building a rock
Dry
wall,
walk wall.
dry rock wall. Yes,
And I know who his instructor was. Is a friend of mine.
there you go. So
So
maybe
he's like the
Patrick,
master
maybe
that
Patrick
Patrick's learning from.
would be
Great.
interested.
Yeah. Mhm. So,
Now,
Um,
over a space like that, would we get somebody, would some kind of machine come in to dig the rocks up?
no, I think it's pretty much grunt work.
Yep.
Okay,
Pinch bar and
Yep.
and a
Okay.
good back.
Yep. And then
okay.
maybe a winch on the end of your tractor. It
Mhm.
Yeah.
pulls.
We might put them in a bucket of a tractor would be good. If we
Mhm.
could have the tractor.
Okay. So, Elaine, when you put in your garden,
Mhm.
initially, you dug all those rocks out?
We've still digging
Yeah.
rocks.
Oh,
up.
still digging rocks out, yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. They keep
40 years later.
Yeah, they keep coming to the surface. They keep rising. And
Yeah,
yes, we dug
okay,
them all out.
okay. So that's gonna be a
Wow.
big job, and that sounds like a big job for the fall, not the hot summer.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we can, yeah, get some of this stuff kind of going.
Yeah. Do you want me to talk to Mary Ann? I'm serious about having like having an activity around rocks.
Yeah, I think it would be great.
It could be with the library summer
Yeah,
reading.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let me talk to her about that.
that would be fantastic. Yeah, the more things that we can do with this that have a component of engaging people and
Yeah.
the better. Well, it sounds like at least initially, these are going to be for the summer. There isn't a whole lot that we're going to need to do other than get things lined up. So the things we need to get lined up are obviously the dethatching, the rocks, figure out who's going to bring the soil and the compost. BZ, you said you have a place in Greenfield that you really like.
We use Martin's Farm.
I was just gonna say Martin's Farm is
Yeah,
great.
they're really good.
Okay.
Also, one of the other things, I was gonna go back to the survey that we did,
Yes.
Mhm.
because we have all the
PR. We need to
the
get the word out.
people.
Yes.
And I'm gonna recontact the ones who said that they were interested and
Great.
tell them that, we have the money now. Do you want to be a part of this enhanced?
Great.
And the other thing I think we need to do is a little PR, like over the
Yes.
summer. Like,
There's a
let-
town newsletter.
well, that's
so
what I
yeah.
say, we should find out what the deadline is for that. Get something out in the town newsletter. We should, do neighbor to neighbor, whatever that group is that, just put something out there that we're looking for people who are interested, like getting the word out.
Well,
about-
we could do, as the chair, you can write like the library does on email, that's all about it, and
Okay.
it would go in the town announce, so it
Okay.
would go out.
Okay. So just write like a little blurb about what it is that we're starting, what's going to be happening, and oh, and you too can come and move rocks.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Sounds
You want to
good.
be a part of it.
But
And
it would be interesting to see how many people who signed up initially
That's
are
right.
now still interested. And
That's
maybe
right.
they're going to be more, maybe they're going to be less. I
Mhm.
mean,
Mhm.
it would be good to know that a little bit.
Yeah.
Get a sense of that. And I think the summer is going to be a hard time to get anything else done, really, because the heat and the
Yeah.
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
getting warm. But I think we should try to get
Yeah.
some.
And we can start with, getting a committee together that's going to start with making the bylaws and being, the
Yeah.
responsible group, so that, it's not all on the rec committee.
Right. Yeah, I think, yes, we get people who are expressing interest, we can get them involved and engaged. We had that for kind of doing the work on that November to February, but I think soliciting gardeners, it makes a lot of sense to do that now. And if we get some engaging programming, I mean, if Zoe comes and we can get some people to come. In fact, I was telling the woman I was out walking with this morning, as I'm talking to Sharon about having Zoe come, she says, well, can I come too? And because she's in Amherst, I said, sure, there's no reason you can't come. So we might be able to drum up some, it's always nice to drum up enough people that people going by are thinking, oh, I wonder what's going on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So marketing will be part of the summer, figuring out who the people are. And Elaine, you said you still have that list of people. So great. Yeah. And reaching out to them individually.
Mhm.
let's see, we really won't be doing any of the purchasing yet. That we don't even need to talk about at this point, because that'll be in the next winter and into the early spring before planting.
And, you know, we don't really want to get the compost and everything
Yeah.
now because it'll just, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I am kind of curious though about what Zoe does and what she did with her rocks.
Mhm.
I'd be very curious to know. I'm gonna just go over and chat with her at some point. I'm gonna send her an email and see if I can just drop by sometime when she's not crazy busy.
And I can start collecting cardboard from my friends at the
Oh,
museum.
great. Yeah, we all
That's
need to collect cardboard.
have
Yeah.
huge amounts, and I get
Mhm.
big sheets of it from them,
Mhm.
and they're easy to break down. And this
Great.
cardboard is the best way to.
And also, when I went to that Franklin County
Mhm.
regional, what was it, pollinator workshop, the woman from the Sustainability Center at UMass was there, and
Mm,
she's very happy to, you know, give presentations.
great.
So I'll
Great.
get in touch with her.
Great. Okay. Is there anything else at this point? I don't think there is.
I think so.
Yeah, so we have some tasks that we'll be doing over the next couple of weeks, and
How can we find out about the town newsletter? Who wants to do that? Find out when.
oh, I think that's probably me.
Yeah, just check with Grace.
Okay,
When does it go out? Because there's probably one. I think we're sort of
I
due
think
for
there's
one.
one in the, you know, like in August or so. I'm pretty sure.
And maybe I could take a photo of the field.
okay.
If people would have a sense where it is.
Mhm.
Maybe try to think of a way to
Mhm.
take a photo so people would
Mhm.
know what we're talking about.
Would it be appropriate in the, because I don't really, I look at the newsletter, I don't really focus in on it much, but I was thinking it might be kind of neat in each newsletter or update that there would be like a little, did you know? And
Mhm.
so maybe I could talk to Zoe and she could do a little, did you know? And then something about gardening. But
Mhm.
if each time there's just a little, did you know? And then get it from, just different people in the community who knows something about farming and, um,
Yeah.
what?
Oh, I know what else I was thinking we should do.
Yeah.
We need to contact the gardening committee in town
Mhm.
because they were really interested in helping
Right.
with
Okay.
this project. I think it would be really good to get them in right from the beginning.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so that's, Meryl and Rita and Penny Jock and there's a couple guys in there too. I can't think.
Okay.
Anyway, but I would say let's try to get them. They don't feel like we've moved ahead without them and see what
Mhm.
they're interested in doing. Because I saw Meryl somewhere recently and she was like, "Oh, I want to be involved." And
Good. Good. Yeah.
so I think they could have some really good ideas.
Mhm. Super. I mean, there's so many things that we could do. We could put little recipes in and we could do all kinds of things, did you know? But just so that there's something that kind of catches people,
Mhm.
that's always there.
Yeah, that's a good idea. What else?
Well, maybe we should meet, at the end of this month, like,
Yes.
and see if there's a deadline. We could write something to go out in that.
Perfect.
order.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you could just email us and let us know when the newsletter goes out again.
Yes. Yeah. I will find that out. So
Maybe-
I'm actually going away again. I have to go down to North Carolina for a wedding. But once I come back on Tuesday, I'm more reliably around.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're planning, let's see, today's the 29th.
Yep.
Do you want to do July 27th?
Yep. The last Tuesday in the month.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That might be tough for me, but if we did it at night, it would be better. I'm putting up my sculpture at the
Ooh.
art
Cool.
orchard that week, and I think I'll be there during the day. So if we could do a 6 o'clock or a
Yeah. Works for
7
me.
o'clock, that would be
Sure.
better for me. Just 'cause
Christine, how does that work for you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I think that should be okay. Yeah, I have daytime stuff, but I should be back from travels that week, so that evening would be fine. Should I say 6 o'clock tentatively, or?
Yeah.
You see what works better for you, 6 or 7, given,
Maybe 7, then I'll be able to have dinner.
okay,
So that's the next meeting.
yep, mhm,
Okay.
great. All right, so let's see, so in terms of contacting the gardening committee, what's the best way to do that at this point?
Who's head of that committee now?
Um,
Meryl's recycling, so I don't think it's her.
hold on, I can tell you.
Maybe we should just go, committee head to committee head and say.
Yeah, I can just send an email.
Are
um,
they, oh,
They're not an official.
they're not an official.
Oh, okay,
Mhm.
Well, you could ask Rita, because Rita's
okay,
on it and she'll know who to contact.
okay,
Or I can ask her. You want me to ask her? I'm gonna
Sure.
see.
yeah,
I'll ask her.
okay.
Yeah, could,
I'll ask her.
okay.
You're doing a lot, Barbara. I feel like you go up. And I feel bad about Christine Robinson not making the last.
I didn't see, the last thing I saw, she was planning to be here. So I don't see anything from her. I'll get in touch with her. I don't know, yeah, I don't know why she's not here. Yeah, she wrote okay, that she'd be here, so I don't know what happened.
Hmm.
But I'll send her an email, let her know, and
Yeah.
make sure she's, because I know she likes to come, so I'm guessing something happened.
Yeah, she might have just forgotten.
Yeah, yeah. All right,
Okay, great.
Sounds good.
Hey,
okay, so the meeting then, does anyone move that we finish? End, whatever the official thing is one says.
Move.
move.
So moved, all right. And so, all right, so I'm going to turn the recording off. We are officially done.